Hey guys, Nex-oz here, and welcome to my anime list, where I show you the list of animes I've watched, or what I'm currently watching. Now, for the longest time, I've always wanted to make this video about my list of anime so I can portray of my favorites are and my preferences. But from my old computer, it doesn't really run well. But now I got my new PC here, I can now record this screen smoothly. Yes, just me browsing on the browser list. Yay, advancement has succeeded. So good for me. But before we get started, I forgot to add a few animes I've been wanting to put on the list. First off, we get the all-time favorite Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Fuck, I misspelled that. There, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood completed, and I'll be set this to, yeah, it was a pretty great anime, to be honest. So yeah, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Yeah, it's like the best anime of all time from the anime list, like, I don't know how long, like more than 10 years ago that was on the list? Oh, and right now it's ranked number 2. What's number 1? Oh yeah, the Soso no Frieren. It's that, it was that fantasy anime that revolved around a 500-year-old elf girl that finished her journey with her hero's party. But yeah, it was like the post-story of every fantasy anime, or the usual trope of a fantasy plot. But anyways, onto the FMAB. I remembered that watching this, I've been binge watching for 3 days, finishing this anime. I mean, at first I was watching the OG of Full Metal Alchemist, which, that was alright. I mean, I kind of got traumatized because I was very young, and as a very young age, you wouldn't get used to the feeling of looking at Edward when his arm and leg was missing and was bleeding. So yeah, that was quite the memory that I couldn't forget. I think it was kind of more of a remake for the original, but yeah. It really had a very solid ending, and all the characters had like a very specific roles. And as the series goes on, it's just that each and every characters are intertwined with each other into a main focus. And I think that's what drives people to think that, yes, this is a very great anime, and this is a masterpiece. Do I think it's my favorite anime of all time? No. But I understand that some people would agree. So yes, I do understand why this used to be a number 1 spot. So yes, I do understand why this anime was put in the number 1 spot. Okay, next is, I think it was Detective Inaba-san? Yeah, it was this anime. Very underrated. Probably at the equal level of Gintama, which was my personal favorite. It's really hilarious at times and a very, very underrated anime. And I still have a strong memory of it. Just a wolf dog being a detective, and his arch nemesis was a small midget goat. But yeah, it's very hilarious. Although at the end, it seems that there have been some missing stories at times. I wonder if it's originally in the manga. I don't think they'll ever get a second season, which is really disappointing, which I was really hoping for. Alright, let's just browse on the top animes that I've scored on 10. Cowboy Bebop, definitely a 10. I've kinda put it on hold like years ago. I think there was that one episode I remembered when I was a kid watching Adult Swim, is when Spike Spiegel was shooting at a kid at that time. And then suddenly he just grow old and wrinkled. Once the episode closes, he threw something up and said bang. At least that's what I remembered when I first watched Cowboy Bebop. It was pretty good. I really liked it, especially in the English dub. I didn't watch it on English sub. For FMAB, I kind of watched the entirety in English sub. Although there was that one scene with Greed and Edward just talking about greed, which in the dub was very, very good. Makes me rethink that if I should watch the entire FMAB on English dub. But I don't know. I just don't know if I got that drive in me. But hey, it was kind of interesting. And second was Gintama, favorite anime of all time. Although I'm aware that the Gintama series was already finished, so I was putting it on hold because I just didn't feel like wanting Gintama to end the series. It was a really heartfelt memory. At first when I watched Gintama, I was just going in for the laughs, which it did give me the laughs. But it kind of surprised me when some of the serious arcs went in, and it has just like a compelling story to the serious arcs, especially in the sad moments too. But there are like so many things I've been missing out on Gintama. Last time that I've watched so far was the Battle of the Rakujo arc. I think it was the plot of the Yoruzuya left planet Earth and go to somewhere else when Gintoki was about to face Kamui. That's pretty much it. Number 3 is Stranger. I really do like the choreography of the sword fights at the end, and they actually put a memorable soundtrack, and I really liked it. And then here's Steins Gate, and I put on a note, the order given to the commentators makes it all the more better, which I did, and I followed it, and boy oh boy, it was quite a ride at Steins Gate. I kind of stopped at the near end of Steins Gate just to go to the other episode, and then continue on with Steins Gate 0, and once I finished 0, I got back and finished Steins Gate, which makes it all the more worth watching the order of those given to. And I didn't expect that Steins Gate was a visual novel too. But yeah, another Gintama. And there's Fate Zero, the prequel of Fate Stay Night. And for me, I am personally a Fate fan, so I just try not to think too much on the Fate timeline or whatever the deal that is. Since it's all jumbled up in one place here, one place there, and then blah 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 blah. I got the suggestion of watch Unlimited Blade Works and Fate Zero, and then you're good to go to watch any other Fate works. It makes it all the more better. Okay, now you're just wondering about the thing that is between the Fate. It'd be this summer, one of the OG hentais I like, which I really did. There were some anime hentais that I've watched and I really liked back then. Yeah, you see. Daily Lives of High School Boys, every comedy scene was a fucking masterpiece. And which I do agree. Definitely a rewatchable series. Makes me laugh the ass out of me. Now, commented below is Kyonyu Fantasy, or Funbag Fantasy. I think I kind of mentioned this because this is the thing when I discovered hentai anime. And from the comments here, I'm sure you get what I'm getting at. So yeah, no need for explanation. And then there is Origeru, I think the one with Hikigaya Hachiman. I think the second season, which I put as a 10, which the artwork is pretty improved than the first season. On a young age, I couldn't remember much on the first season because I was too young and I couldn't understand the morality concept of what Hikigaya was going through. But yeah, maybe I should rewatch the first season. I haven't started on third season, so I think I may need to finish that. But yeah, up above is second movie of Gintama, the Forever Yozuya. Especially the soundtrack theme of Donten? No, I think it was... Yeah, Spy Air, Spires, the band of Spy Air. Many openings that were sung from Spy Air was really, really hyped up. At least for me. Then coming below is Assassination Classroom's second season, which I scored a 10 for this anime, which I still do, and got me literally teared up at the end. And I took that to heart, because I do remember that at the very end, when I watched Assassination Classroom, I literally cried at the end. I'm not gonna go into spoilers, and those of you that already watched Assassination Classroom, I think you know what I'm talking about. At the very end, it really was compelling, and it was so memorable, and that the characters were crying there, and it made me cry too. And then all of the VAs in this anime, everyone in E-Class started singing a choir. It was like a graduation. All of them, everyone, were just singing. And I literally couldn't stop crying at that scene. It was a very memorable scene. They put a perfect closing end for Assassination Classroom. And to this day, I still consider that the second season, the entirety of the Assassination Classroom, was really great. I like it. And then here's Kobayashi Maid Dragon at 10. I didn't know it was made from Kyoto anime. Kinda like the arts about it. It's all cutesy. That was really enjoyable to watch. Although I didn't start the second season, so I may need to watch that. Maybe at some day at point I might watch the second season of Kobayashi Maid Dragon. But yeah, who knows? And then here's the Psyche Kusuo series 1 and 2. It's still rewatchable because you could just go back to the memory lane and enjoy it. And then here's another hentai of the elf. I think this is one of those isekai hentais, if I remember correctly, concerning the art. But yeah, My Hero Academia movie 2, Heroes Rising, probably one of the best MHA movie out of all the three, which I do believe. And then Ishishoko Reviewers 10, although I have yet to finish the entirety of it. Naruto 9, I do like it, since most of the fighting choreographies are probably top tier. Then the Naruto Shippuden. Lupin the Third, I think this was called The Castle? I think it was the movie of Lupin saving the princess here. Actually, I didn't watch the movie in order, nor do I watch the entirety of the Lupin the Third series. But I do hear a mention of that one YouTuber, Joey the Anime Man. The Castle of Lupin the Third was a very great movie, so it turned out to be really good. I really liked it. Then we have Tegen Toppa Gurren Lagann at 9. Bokano, first Shippuden movie. And then here's Garden of Sinners, Reserved Point, another one. And then here's First Love, 2. Hyoka 9, another of Finest Kyoani's work. And then here's The Dusk of Amnesia. Probably one of my personal favorite for a romance anime. Just a dude dating a ghost girl. And I really do like the ghost girl because she's pretty attractive, not gonna lie. And then here's... I think this was called Oreshura, one of the OG harem animes that I've watched. I could clearly remember when I was watching this, it's just so bright. It was kind of blinding me with all these colors when watching this. I think I kind of remember the ending kind of left off a cliffhanger. Maybe this was derived from an original manga or probably a light novel. I can't remember. It gave out an okay ending. I think I was satisfied with it. Also, another harem anime that I enjoyed watching was, I think it was called The Shepherd, a very endearing harem anime I've watched, not gonna lie. And most of the harem members had a really nice design. Personally, I kind of like the tsundere girl with the purple hair and ponytail. Yeah, that's kind of description that I remembered. Kill la Kill at 9. And here we have Ryugajo Nananai no Mazukin. I think this was an anime that was treasure hunting. I think all of those treasures had some mystical powers there. And then suddenly the ending just left off a cliffhanger. I mean, you know, it left off with a lot of mysteries. It is a shame that I couldn't make it to the second season. Probably the original source is from a light novel. I don't know. I mean, it's been years and years, so the light novel should have been finished, right? Number 9 is another one, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. I kind of like the art style of this anime. Basically, it's just this glasses guy trying to make some sort of rom-com dating sim, or perhaps some visual novel. Also, Kasumi Gaoka Utaha, Best Girl, my personal favorite. Also, I kind of read the entire manga spin-off of solely focuses on Utaha, which I really enjoyed reading it. Although there were a couple other seasons. Again, I don't know if I could find the time to watch it. Maybe someday. One of a couple of other hentais that I've watched. I think I was gonna go back onto it because it's like been years and years since I've last watched these hentai animes. Another one, Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. Probably one of the best manga series I've read for a long ass time. And I finished reading the manga series of it, and it literally gave me goosebumps because boy oh boy, what a trip it was. Although I may have finished the anime of Yamada and Seven Witches, maybe not. I think I did. I finished way beyond this story of a manga, so I kind of assumed to just completed it. There was such good artwork and animation from this anime, and it didn't get the green light of a second season. Such a goddamn shame. And here we have Unlimited Blade Works second season. I kind of scored it a 9 due to the fact that UFO Table, they have great animation there, not gonna lie. The silent voice, I think that's what it's called, kind of relates me to a core level. The entirety of the series, if I can't understand what my husband is saying, I rewatched it like several times. I mean, there were like some animes that I find enjoyable to rewatch. Grisaya no Rakuen. I think this was the second season of Grisaya. And I didn't know that it was originally derived from a eroge-vien, or a visual novel. Is it an eroge-vien? I mean, there were some sex scenes there. Is there a difference between a visual novel with sex scenes or an eroge? Okay, Konosuba, a 9. Unlimited Blade Works Sunny Day. I think it's like the epilogue of the story. Although it was one episode, so I put a 9 there. Bungo Stray Dogs. I thought it was just like some sort of normal superpowered anime, but I didn't expect that the characters were named by famous Japanese novel writers. Fate Caliad Prisma Ilia 3-Ray. Is it 3 or 3-Ray? I don't know which. I think out of all the Prisma Ilia series, I think the third season was much better than the past two. I think it was pretty interesting, so I put a higher score. And then Ray Creators 9, where all the media characters come to life and they were all battling each other. It was a pretty interesting concept, and I kind of related to the soul. It kind of reminds me of me creating a character, just want them to bring it to life. Number 9, Suizu Children, a couple of anthologies of 2 couples. I personally finished the manga too. I think my all-time favorite couple was the student council president and the Yankee girl. The first 2 couple that they were about to confess with each other, that was my least favorite of them all the time. Both of them are just so insensitive to each other. It drags on, and it drags all the way to the end, to the very end of the manga series, where all the couples were all mingled together, but them. They're now a girlfriend and boyfriend at the very end of the manga series. I mean, I don't get it, but it's just... Case in point, first couple were stupid. Probably like the D or F tier. Moving on, we have Osake wa fufu ni nateka. Pretty much a sucker for newlywed couples. House husband treating his wife to some variety of drinks. A serious wife, she then turns into a most wholesome and drunkard wife, like being clingy to her husband. Very, very endearing to watch. On the manga, spoilers, they had a child. So congratulations on your child. From my manga collection, it's always be romance, harem, and newlywed couples. That's just my taste. A rascal couldn't dream of a bunny girl senpai. I scored it a 9. Vinland Saga, 9-2. I didn't know that the first Vinland Saga was a prologue. Second Vinland Saga was already released, so I think I might watch it. I don't know. But I didn't know it'd be a prologue. That's a pretty damn long anime series for it to be a prologue. Then we have Kimetsu no Yaiba at 9. Kinda on the landmark. Just to score at 9, so yeah, you know what? I'm just going to downgrade it to good. I mean, there's like a simple concept there. And then here we have Fire Force. I don't know why I put a 9 there. Put it to great to good. Very entertaining to watch on Fire Force. I mean, the female characters in the Fire Force designs, like, they be looking pretty hot. Especially that magician girl. Even though she's mostly called as a gorilla, I honestly find her hot, especially when she has good abs too. I think her name was Maki. I know that there are a couple of hentais that I've scored at. Jujutsu Kaisen 0, a 9. And I recently finished Jujutsu Kaisen 2nd season, a 9. Particularly the Shibuya incident arc. Not gonna lie, like, oh, I can't imagine what happened there. But I think in the Shibuya incident arc, it left a major turning point to the entirety of the Jujutsu Kaisen. And after I watched the 2nd season, I just continue on the manga and I'm currently catching up. And yeah, it was getting real heated on the current chapters. It's just that, you know, Twitter and the memes. Thanks for the fan base to just spoil us anime watchers. Coming below is Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. I don't know why this was included in anime, but I do remember watching this. And I kind of scored it an 8. I think this is the first Final Fantasy movie that I've ever watched. I didn't know what was going on. The guy's name was Cloud, and then he's fighting some villain, and then a longtime villain, which I didn't know what was going on. That's how it happened. Here we have the first Naruto movie. I think it was the first Naruto with a Rainbow Rasengan. That's how far I know. And it was him saving a snow princess. Yeah, 3 Guardian of Sinners I scored an 8 at. Oh no, it's like 5 Guardian of Sinners. Personal favorite? I'm not sure. Most of the entirety of the Guardian of Sinners series, bit like confusing at times because I was trying to crank up my literature knowledge since there was like so much symbolism there. I don't know what's going on. I mainly play FGO before I started watching the Guardian of Sinners series, so I didn't know what Guardian of Sinners was all about. Just a girl with red leather jacket, has a mystic eyes of death, and could easily cut through them, just killing them. Even when I watch them in order, it's a bit confusing at times because timelines are a bit jumbled up. I couldn't tell which is which on the order, or if there was any order at all. Like, there doesn't seem to be any connection of it. Number 8 are the OG working. I kinda watched the other working anime before this, which I didn't know there was original working anime. Then we have World God Only Knows, and High School DD. I'm just gonna go a hot take on this for the longest time. I don't think Ria's Gremory was that hot. She's just some girl with red hair and big tits. I mean, at first, I do find her attractive, but as time goes on, you develop a sense of taste of your own anime women, and then she starts to get diluted. That's how it is. To me, honestly, I find Naruse Mio more attractive than Ria's Gremory. I mean, sure, she's a tsundere and has twin tails, but I personally find her hot. Another OG one, Sakusoso Pet no Kanojo at 8. I think that my brother was searching for this anime too, since he wanted to watch it. There wasn't any strong memories back then, but I think being here now, I think I could relate it now, even though I haven't rewatched it back then. Then below we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the mark where it infects the watchers to be JoJo memes or JoJo reference callers. Also, part 2 was my favorite because Joseph, which I do. I consider part 2 as Bizarre Adventure series my favorite. And he's also voiced by my personal Japanese VA, Tomokazu Sugita, who, as you know, voiced as Sakata Gintoki. Like, he has a very prominent voice where you could actually tell, oh, that's him. He's that guy who is voiced as Sakata Gintoki. It's recognizable. That's why I recognize most Japanese VAs. Although for a variety of tones and roles of the Japanese VA, it's kinda hard to tell if they were actually voiced by the same person. Impressive, but hard. 8 Devil's Part-Timer, which I've kinda pushed this aside for a very, very long ass time. But I managed to watch it. I don't know when, but I did manage to watch it. Oh yeah, this is what it's called, WWW Working. No Guns Life. Probably a recent anime I've been watching since when it was released currently. Firstly, I kinda read the manga there. Probably should finish the anime too. Well, currently, nowadays, One Piece has already reached the 1,000 mark, and it's going on hot. Oh yes, another one anime that is the most OG is The Familiar of the Zero. The early days before isekai anime was prominent. At first I didn't know what isekai anime is until like way ahead of it. Pretty does count as an isekai anime. Then one OG Elemental Gelade. People make contracts with their other person that turns them into weapons. I think that was the premise of the story. Another old classic, Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Even when the manga ended, there's still so many questions, like so many unanswered questions. But in the end, it's just a slice of life. But yeah, as you can see, a whole list of animes of mostly harem and romance. Because back then, I just watched compiled videos of ecchi romance anime, and then I didn't know what the concept of harem is until I looked it up and I started searching for harem animes. So yeah, my main tastes were romance, ecchi, and harem anime. That's just how it is back then. And yeah, one of the lists is bento. The concept of all broke people getting food. People are just fighting for discounted food at the convenience market. Crazy people. Very underrated anime. Score Noragami Arigato a 7. Here it is. Shimai Mao no Testament, or Sister of Testament. I think my personal opinion on Tojo Basura, the MC of this guy, probably one of my most favorite harem MC that I enjoyed. He really treats his girls really well. He just straight up and declared, I'm going to satisfy all of you. It's just like, My man! I kind of assumed that at the end of the light novel he took the harm route like Chad. And here is Ray Zero. Kind of scored a 7 because had to drop this a couple of times due to cringe, which, yeah, I kind of did. But then there's the second season of Ray Zero. Been meaning to finish it for a long time, but I'm currently in the middle of it. Probably gotta finish it someday. And then I scored a 6 on Fairy Tail. First opening was my childhood, which I take it to heart. It gave me so much nostalgia. It made me feel like I was in my younger days when I first remember watching Fairy Tail. When I was really an early child, when I was watching anime, I mostly watch it in dubs. Because back then, watching on an English sub with subtitles on a foreign language is so foreign to me. It's so alienated. But then I kind of adjusted to it and like, hey, subwatcher. I do like dubs too. Dubs can be great on some animes. Say for Cowboy Bebop. I've watched the entire series on an English dub. I think it was the love comedy where the MC's life was all based on choices. Bit mediocre at the end, not the kind of anime I'd be satisfied. MC had to pussy out, which I do admit, a pretty lame ending. I mean, it is how it is. Was it originally from a light novel? Maybe. Considering this long-ass title, wouldn't be surprised. Let's see some animes where I scored the lowest. Here we have here, 俺が好きなのは妹だけど妹じゃない. I kinda dropped it because this anime was shit. It was absolute shit. I couldn't sit through the entirety that I had to drop it. A shittiest anime with a shitty plot. Same for Absolute Duo too. Concept, plot was shit. When that one girl trying to get stronger because she wants to protect the MC kind of rejected her feelings because he was too weak and was insecure about it. And then blah blah blah. She struck a deal with some shifty ass, shady bad guy for more power. And then she got a power. And then she proclaims that she is protecting him by trying to kill him. I don't know why. Like, what is going through that girl's mind? I don't get it. It was so fucking stupid that it was so contradictory and hypocritical. So fucking stupid. And then we have Akame ga Kill. I put this drop because I'm never gonna watch it. Read the manga, skipped to the end, didn't bother the rest. Still shit. From so far I've read the manga, like, a lot of people died. Some major character that died. So many. And I think that Joey the Anime Man had reviewed this being a literal plot armor. I didn't understand what plot armor is until now. Because the meaning of plot armor is that the main character avoids death for some unconventional reason. Like, I couldn't give up even though his arms are twisted, ribs smashed, my heart is bleeding, my consciousness is fading, but I must fight and I still can't give up. Most of the conditions, like a normal human, would literally die. Blast him into oblivion, but he's still standing up because he couldn't give up. And then here's Makenki 2. I remembered watching Makenki back then. It kind of reminded me of X-Men, honestly. And then there's Makenki 2, which I thought it'd be a continuation of first season, but it's just full-on fan service. 10 episodes of fucking fan services. Although I kind of finished the manga there, it's like, also I didn't know that the author was also a hentai artist, which I don't find it surprising too, considering of some scenes that are questionable. Yeah, so lowest score, Kenzen Robo Daimi Dollar. I think this was a ecchi mech of being powered by groping breasts, at least in the first half. And then the second half is just shift change of main characters. I mean, honestly, it was a bit questionable at times. That it's still shitty at best. And some of the antagonists were just a bunch of penguins with 24/7 boners. Yeah, that's what it was. And then here's All My Buddha. Ugh. Probably one of the earlier harem animes I've watched. Most of the time, I find it quite annoying. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't pay much attention to it, but now, damn, these shows are kind of shit. So many heroes just like punching at the guy, even though he is a pervert at times, but unconventional reasons. I don't know, it's just like over and over he gets his ass beaten like 24/7 and it's starting to get really annoying. Oh, and now we have Soa no Otoshimo Forte, Heaven's Lost Property. Yes, I remembered it clearly watching this anime. I didn't have a very strong opinion of it, but now I'm glad I didn't have to rewatch it. When the MC was at like a gender bender episode, started role-playing on some cute high school girl. Oh, that was so cringe as fuck. It just feels so wrong. It's so cringy. It's just like, why would you do this? Like, why did you decide that? It's so fucking stupid. It's just being all cutesy while you're just a guy and the inside. Ugh. Infinite Stratos. Yeah, honestly, second season sucks. Maybe the entire series of Infinite Stratos, because the main guy is just like dense as fuck. I didn't had any strong opinions because this is one of the early harem animes I've watched. Like, I didn't understand the entirety of a dense MC character, but now I do. He's such a dumbass. Even when he lost in a fight, it's just like, I'm only human. It's just, I mean, sure, you're only human, but still, you're a weak ass. Can't you at least, like, be competent in a fight? Looking back on it, when this girl just mentioned, I have every right to punch you, I wish she would actually just punch him now. Isekai smartphone? Yes, lower score. Probably because animation, could use some work. For the MC? Yeah. Kind of stupid. I don't understand why they would add another season. I think I remembered watching this, and to be honest, the character design, very lackluster. I really don't like the design of the female characters. Oh yeah, the flag anime, where the MC can see flags and just breaks them. At the end, it was shitty. From the first couple of the episodes, I was following along, until at the near end, it started shifting to a different scene with a different plot. No connection. What the fuck just happened? Where did this teacher come from? And that teacher wasn't really relevant to the plot. She was just some random NPC. And then her role just starts to be relevant from the MC's past. For some reason. There was no explanation. There was no connection to it. It was shit. The ending was shit. It would have been okay anime if it would just flow how it is, not just shift at the end. It was fucking terrible. The fucking pacing was bullshit. Then here's one of the OG anime that me and my brother watched, is The Demon King. I remembered watching this with my brother. We've been sitting it throughout the entire series of it. I think my brother didn't give it much thought about it. I don't know, but I kind of scored it a 5 because it was alright at best. That's kind of the impression that I've gotten. Yeah, early animes, Rosario Vampire, Camphor. I think Camphor is probably one of the most decent harem anime. Although I really didn't like it when the MCs just go simping of some girl that she just didn't like him. Only his gender-bent self, and I find it stupid. Personally for me, I was going for the long black-haired girl. I think she was some sort of student council president. And then there's also the redhead girl, which also is attractive. Also Gakuen HH. Despite the story, I do be liking the Unsent series with Aine. I think she's the main heroine that I personally like in that anime. So yeah. Yeah, some of the OG hentais back then. You know, I think I should go back rewatching these age anime if I'm ever in a mood to. So yeah, there you have it. My anime list. Although there are some animes that I might plan on watching, and then newly released animes. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed watching, whether it is cultured or degenerate. Well yeah, this has been Nex-oz. I hope you all have a good day, and so am I. Thank you for watching.